This is Counter Attack Radio with Dan Bloom and Pete Koury.
Accelerating. He's got two in support here, Nani. It's pulled back to Anderson. Good recovery by Uchida. Still Anderson. It's it. 3 for Manchester United. The victory is complete. Here's Messi. Away from 2, 3, 4. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. How good is he? A near supernatural goal from Lionel Messi. Barcelona, it is, who will go to Wembley. And the cheer even louder because it's Real Madrid that they leave in their wake.
Welcome in, fans of soccer, football, calcio. It is Christmas morning. It is the biggest day of the soccer watching calendar. You know it is. I know it is. It is Champions League final day today in London, England, at one of the great temples of world football, Wembley Stadium. Someone will win their 4th UEFA Champions League title. It will be either Sir Alex Ferguson's men, Manchester United, or that of Pep Guardiola, FC Barcelona, the great Catalan giants. Both teams gunning for glory. Only one can hoist the coveted trophy. Welcome in, Pete Koury. I'm Dan Bloom. I know you're excited about today's game. Could you sleep last night, Pete Koury?
I couldn't. I'm titillized right now. This is Super Bowl Sunday. I mean, that's what it is. When it comes down to it, the two most watched annual sporting events every single year in the world are your European Champions League final right here and the Super Bowl. You know, that's pretty elite company. And that's what we got here today. We got the two best teams in European soccer with Manchester United and Barcelona. These guys have been in this competition before, recently and historically. Barcelona making their 7th appearance in the Champions League final. They've won 3, lost 3 in the final game. Manchester United sport a 3-1 record in their final appearances. The latest one in 2008 with a victory. And you know, this is a big game. This is a big day. I'm very excited. I think both teams have very different styles. I think both teams have great tradition. I think both teams are well coached, and both teams have, you know, full-blooded superstars. I mean, both teams have a lot of marketable, great players who have had success both internationally and on the club level. So I'm expecting a great game. I'm hoping it's a little more competitive than the matchup was the last time these two teams faced back in 2009.
2009, Stadio Olimpico, Rome, Italy was the place.
09 rematch here, and Barcelona took that on the shoulders of Samuel Eto'o. You remember that guy, and Lionel Messi both scoring goals. Messi with that great acrobatic header. I don't even know how that went in for the second goal late in that one. So a rematch here. Manchester United has, you know, they got revenge on their mind right now. They're fresh off their domestic league championship. Barcelona won theirs. Dan, I'm pumped. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great.
You
How
should
are
be
you?
pumped. I'm doing great as well. And I rewatched some of this 2009 final to get myself ready for this momentous occasion. And the feeling that I came away with, of course, besides a newfound respect for Samuel Eto'o, who was such a great player, and another look at Yaya Touré, who was a very important part of that 2009 Barcelona team, one player, of course, stands head and shoulders above all the rest that we will talk about today in this program leading up to the Champions League final. He is the only player who is still on this team who scored in that 2009 final. It's Lionel Messi. The amount of goals that he scored for his club this year is simply amazing, only to be eclipsed by Cristiano Ronaldo, who, nearly bereft of any collective accomplishments that he could win this year at Real Madrid, had to focus all of his energy on the Pichichi, the goal-scoring title. He gets it. Lionel Messi, however, remains the only player still in that rarefied air, that stratosphere in Spanish football, still playing. So Messi has a chance to etch another phenomenal superlative onto his CV, onto his resume today.
I don't think you're going to hear a lot of people argue that Ronaldo had a better year than Messi. Ronaldo does have the trophy for winning the individual individual accomplishment, but if you look at team success, Barcelona far eclipses Real Madrid this season, especially in head-to-head matchups, with Barcelona going 3-1-1 against Real Madrid. So they had a great record. Head-to-head, Lionel Messi led the matchup, and he was just behind Ronaldo. I'd tip him to be the favorite for the World Player of the Year next season.
It's very funny. If I were Lionel Messi, and I'm not, believe me, for many reasons, one of which is I'm old, another one is I'm slow. But if I were Lionel Messi, I would get pretty upset, or at least annoyed, ticked off, that every time somebody wants to talk about what a great season I've had, in the same sentence, you're going to hear the name Cristiano Ronaldo. And to, unfortunately, pile even more of that on Leo Messi's back, Ronaldo is even more important in today's conversation. Why? Because Cristiano Ronaldo was arguably the most influential player on Manchester United the last time that these two great teams matched up. So that's a big question to me. When you take a look at Manchester United's likely starting lineup for today, and when you take a look at the team that was put out on the pitch a few years ago, the question is obvious. Is Manchester United a better team today than they were in 2009 leading up to that Champions League final?
Absolutely not. I do not think so.
You don't think so?
I think this Manchester United team is very tough. They're well coached. They bought into the system that Sir Alex has given them, but in no way do I think that they are a better squad than they were back when they lost to Barcelona. Cristiano Ronaldo being the number one point there. Ronaldo, one of the best players in the world. You could argue him as, over everybody except for probably Messi. I think Rio Ferdinand is past his prime. I think he had his better days. I think he was more effective a couple years back. I think Giggs, a little more effective. Scholes, younger. This team had more lively legs. Carlos Tevez, he came in off the bench. He was a bench player for this team. A guy of that caliber, coming in as a substitution, that doesn't come around often. I like Chicharito. I like what Vidic has done. Vidic has grown into a better player. I think Vidic is better than he was back then. But I just think overall, as a powerful force, that Manchester United team scared me a heck of a lot more than this year's team. We've talked so many times about how Sir Alex has done so much with limited talent at this team. This isn't the most talented team we've seen out of Manchester United. And I think that team in 2009 was more of, his suited, where the talent was there. When you looked there, you looked across the pitch, and that team scared the bejesus out of you. I don't think that factor is here. I don't think Barcelona is going to be one bit intimidated today.
Now, Dani Alves, Brazilian right back for Barcelona, has come out and suggested that perhaps Man U has been, in his words, freed up by losing Cristiano Ronaldo, who was the focal point of your offense, and now they're able to perhaps spread the ball around the field, work more from the wings. So in Alves' opinion, perhaps it was an addition by subtraction scenario for Ronaldo. In my estimation, that could be a little bit of Blaugrana blood, a little bit of the partisan Barcelona side creeping in on that analysis, because to me, you're right that you cannot take Cristiano Ronaldo, especially off of that Manchester United team that he was so effective on. You can't take Ronaldo off the team and take Tevez off the bench and say, okay, the 2011 model is as good as, if not better than, the 2009 model. But just to put counterpoint out there, when I think about Man U in 2011, there are some younger players that have really made an impact this year who do have to come out and say, okay, well, maybe we are making this team our own. Maybe we can make an improvement off 2009. Nani springs to mind as a player who didn't see the field in 2009 and now is coming into his own as a real senior player, a real Premier League level player for Manchester United. Fabio and Rafael, the Brazilian twin fullbacks, they have both made very good contributions this year. Neither one of them could see the pitch in 2009, weren't on the team. And of course, the other one that you mentioned is Chicharito. The X factor that El Chicharito, Javier Hernandez, brings to the field is basically second to none. His instincts, his goal-scoring acumen, the reason that he has been so effective this year is that the kid just knows how to be in the right place at the right time. So there are all these X factors now that make me think it's possible that Man U is at least at the level as that 2009 team. The problem is, Pete, they need to be better than the 2009 team was because Barcelona made them look ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
a couple of years back.
And I think Barcelona's better than they were a couple years
Exactly.
back. It's crazy to think that this team is better than the team that won the treble 2 years back.
That's the next question, Pete. If neither one of us think that Man U has gotten a hell of a lot better, you don't think they've gotten better at all. I think that if they've gotten better at all, it's been marginal. Barcelona, so the next question is, do you think that Barcelona's gotten better?
Well, absolutely. I do.
You do.
I love Samuel Eto'o, but I think David Villa is probably a better fit for this squad. We've seen Messi grow as a player. I mean, Messi was prolific in 2009. He's even better. He's gotten better every single year. I think Iniesta and Xavi have really gelled together.
Pedro is a key player who's developed to be able to be effective on the wing.
I think Pedro on the wing was huge, and the emergence of PK. I think PK has really turned into one of the premier central defenders in the entire world. And I think Valdez, you remember when he was a question mark?
Yes.
When people worried about him, when you would describe Barcelona, you would talk about, well, they got a great team, but Valdez is so-so, and their defense isn't what you'd want out of a great team. Those aren't questions anymore, PK is a rock. He has worked so well with Puyol. Valdez has really worked to become one of the better Spanish goalies. And I think you can make the argument that he's number 2 to Casillas among Spanish goalies. And, there's some great ones out there. Pepe Reina comes to mind of Liverpool. There's some really good goalies that come out of Spain. David De Gea, a young and up-and-comer who could be playing on Manchester United next year.
He will be.
I mean, that is the word. Highly likely that he will move there. But Valdez has done great. So I think this Barca team, from head to toe, from striker, attack, through midfield, defense, goalkeeper, I think they're as good as they've ever been.